Hello, everybody. I don't know how long I'll be on this time, but I guess we'll see. I'll get my glasses so I can read the questions. General questions for lesson 5. Number 1, describe your coven. What kind of a degree system do you have? 2, describe where your covenstead is located. Where's your covendom? How far does it extend? Draw a map if you like. Number 3, describe your book of shadows. Number 4, it is enjoyable to be able to refer back to special ceremonies in your life. For this reason, it is helpful to have a tape recording or written account of these happenings. Relate here the events in your consecration of Tool's ceremony. Number 5, practice drawing a pentagram. Number 6, what are the dates of the Esbats and Sabbats this year? What rites will you take part in? And exam questions for lesson 5. 1, if you have a coven with 11 people in it and 4 more come along who want to join, can they? What are the possible alternatives? Number 2, what color is the cover of the Book of Shadows? Can you type the rituals and put them in your book? Number 3, how often should a coven meet? Number 4, the date of your next Esbat meeting is also the date of the full moon. Which of the following rituals should you do and in what order? Cakes and ale, erecting the temple, full moon rite, clearing the temple, new moon rite, Esbat rite. Number 5, what are the names of the 4 greater Sabbats? Number 6, is dancing permitted within the circle? Number 7, what is the meaning of the cakes and ale rite? What is the symbolism of lowering the Athaman to the goblet? And that's it. So, for number 4, I would say erecting the temple, Esbat rite, and then full moon rite, and then cakes and ale last. That's the order that makes sense. Hey. Hey, Vicki. Good to see you. I'm just, I hope I'm not confusing the crap out of people, but I've been, reading the questions, as you know, out of the Buckland Blue Book, and every day I come on here at a certain time, and it varies slightly from day to day. And some of the questions I will answer, some of them not, trying to encourage people to test themselves, I guess, and how serious they are about joining the craft. Because if they're really serious, then they will go out, they will find a way to get the book, whether they get it from the library or invest, buying it from like a half price books or something. And then they can go through and they can read the allotted material from the sections that need to be read and answer the questions themselves. So, excuse me, I just thought it would be an interesting approach, something slightly different to do on a live. And I hope, am I okay? No, not really. I hope you're okay, though. Me, well, the apartment looks great. We finally got the clutter cleaned, and it looks like a real apartment now, like it should, like I've wanted it to, look like for a while. many years, and it only took me 17 years to finally get it done. But because of some upcoming events that were suddenly thrown in my lap, there's a lot of conflict that I'm trying to sort through. You need a tour? Well, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but I'll try. Hang on, let me unplug it. And I'll have to turn this around because I don't know how to turn the camera around. Okay. All right. This is the front room now. I'll try to go kind of slow so you can see it. This is where we moved the fish. Okay. Looks good, huh? And then here, this is the kitchen now. This is the dining room. Bathroom, it's about the same. But I have to say, this is definitely the cleanest I have ever seen my bedroom, or seen the bedroom in 17 years. So, but as you can see, it's cleaner than it ever was. Chris has got his stuff all folded neat over here. Bella's crashed out on the bed. Yeah, thanks. It was a group effort, It took several of us to pull it off. Norma helped a lot. Daryl, one of our neighbors in the building, he helped a lot. Well, a little bit anyway. But oh yeah, they do. The cats love it because a lot of times they'll just flop down wherever on the floor now and sleep, But the energy's a lot better in here now. A lot lighter, a lot more flow through, I don't know if we quite made it to the whole feng shui thing, because with feng shui, you're not really supposed to have stuff up against the walls. You're supposed to have it kind of away from the walls a little bit or something or another. I mean, which that's not practical, not in this tiny place, but it's better than it has been for a while. Yeah, exactly. And this is how I have wanted it to look from day one. But it was such a big job. It literally took us, in my opinion, it literally took us a week and a half just to get it to this point. And the stress was really bad. And as you can tell, I'm kind of tearing up right now. I'm trying not to, because I don't want you to be crying at work, because you're feeling bad for me. But with this upcoming check, for instance, there's just so much going out, and it's like there's more going out than I have coming in. And it's really it's really bringing me down. And realistically, I'm about $100 to $300 short than what I actually need. Me and Norma and Christy, we're going to go, and Stephanie even, are going to be going to the Gift of Light Expo on the 8th of September. But the day before that, I'm going to be helping my brother get his stuff finally moved out of the storage unit down here in Columbus, wherever it is, he has it. And he's going to, put gas in the car and everything. I'll probably spend the night with him Friday night so that we can both get up fairly early in the morning. If I have to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, then we'll get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll make sure I have my phone alarm set. Yeah, and I'm grateful. Believe me, it was a major weight, at least off my shoulders, when we finally got this place sorted. But some of the drawbacks of that and the aftermath that I'm now dealing with that's got me so upset is I was going to put $300 back in my savings this month, and that was going to be used towards the trip because I owe Norma $150 roughly, $149, because we were going to do a Ravenwood trip. That didn't work. Me, her, and Christy were going to go, and that's $149 from each of us for 3 nights, 3 days, 3 nights there. That got dashed because Christy is driving now. She's got her temps, and she's doing pretty good. I've let her drive the car a couple times. She does really good. And she knows that she's got to get back into the flow of getting used to it again. And her stepdad's supposed to be coming up sometime in September to help her get a car. And because we don't know when in September, my original plan was to try and book Ravenwood for us the first weekend roughly the first week, sometime in the first week of September. Because we should get our checks on the 29th. Of this month, and now it's looking like I'm only going to be able to put back $50 of the $150 that I owe her, just to round it off, and the $150 I'm going to be putting in there that would have been my third of the Ravenwood trip. So we decided, okay, we'll go to the Gift of Light Expo instead because that's on the 7th and 8th of September. I would rather go to one of those when the weather's warmer than wait until November 2nd and 3rd when it's going to be cold as hell and probably snow and ice on the ground. And I don't want it to be a stressful situation. We go there because it's a special thing we do as friends, as girls, kind of like a, girls' day out. But because I'm going to be spending the night with Carl Friday night, and then I'm going to be helping him Saturday, and then hopefully we'll get done in a timely enough manner that I will be going. I'll be like, bro, I've got to go home. Go home Saturday night, wake up in the morning somehow, and be ready to charge out the door and go to the Gift of Light Expo, because when everything's done, Carl is going to give me $100 on top of, giving me the gas money. And he said he'll feed us and everything. And I said, okay, that's cool. And because he's spending like over $200 a month, to keep that storage unit. And now I'm going to be shelling out $68 to keep the storage unit that Chris got for me, which has mostly my stuff in it. Because that's one less payment he's got to worry about. But now because I'm taking it on, it's a lot. It's a lot for me. $68 is a lot for me. And I'm giving $50 to Jim on top of that to help with him and Mom's water bill, because I have been going over there a lot lately and doing laundry and not paying Mom anything because I didn't have the money to pay her. But when Jim told me that, Mom told me that the water bill was really high. So I said, how about this? When I get my check this time, I'll give Jim $50 to help with that because I haven't been paying on it. She said, that's fine. So I talked to Jim about it, and he said, the water bill's fine. He said, what I really need help with is the gas bill, because it takes they have a gas furnace. So whenever you do laundry, you're using the gas from the furnace that heats the water, and all that. So I said, that's fine. I said, whatever you decide to do with the 50, once I give it to you, whatever you do with it, that's what you do with it. But at least I'm doing my part by, helping pay for it because I used so much water myself. And I still have half a dozen or more bags in there you saw on the floor that's got clothes in it that still need washed, that I have no money to get them washed here at the building. So I'm going to be paying $465 in rent this month. Was going to put $300 in my savings. Now I'm only going to be able to put, it's looking like $200, I guess, or something or another, because, the $150 I was going to put in there and then keep out the $50 because I'm going to have to get cash items for the house. And $99 to Green Path to pay on my credit cards. So, see, $465, what I'm putting in savings, $99 to Green Path, $50 to Jim, $68 to the storage. I'm not going to have literally like any money left, and that seems to be the common thing, every month here. And I'm just at my wit's end because I feel bad because, Chris pays all the bills, primarily all the bills. I've got some personal bills that I pay, out of my check. Things that I've got the Prime, the Amazon Prime, which is only like $5.99, $6.99 a month, which I think is a good deal because when you get objects that have the little Prime symbol next to them, then you don't get charged for shipping, which is nice. And that's a savings right there. Those little bits, they add up. But then I thought, well, wait a minute, it's not all bad because, I've got that 100 to look forward to from Carl, but I'm like 1 to 3 to even as much as 900 shorter than I would like to be because I'm tired of not having any money to live on for the month. I'm tired of not even being able to have any money to go for one day to an event that we do like maybe once a year, if that. And now that's being compromised, and I don't want, Norma to keep shelling out a bunch of her money, to get us in and to, get stuff because I can't afford to get my own stuff. And I try not to get any stuff because I don't want to bring any more stuff in here because it just causes a problem later. It ends up coming up in an argument sometime way down the road, who knows how far. And I'm tired of the shit being thrown in my face. So it's gotten me to the point where I don't even want to get anything anymore and bring it in here because I don't want to fight. And now Jim's mad at me. I was going to order some stuff for him. He was going to give me $50. And then I was on the phone with my brother for 2 hours. When I finally got off the phone for him and I could go get me some lunch, I checked my phone, got a text from Jim a little after 1. I didn't get off the phone with Carl until like 1:30. And Jim wanted to go to Bambi's. And that's a long drive. And he was going to put gas in my car. Okay, that's great. And then he was going to buy me lunch. And he was going to give me the $50. Yeah. And then he was going to give me the $50, to order the stuff for him, which was 4 diamond paintings, 4 different cats, type diamond paintings, and get him another diamond painting case, bead case that, comes with the little jars, and it comes with all these different little accessories and stuff because he's only got one and he's like, he needs another one. I'm like, okay, fine. So I was going to do that for him. But I told him, look, I just got off the phone with Carl for 2 hours. I'm hungry. I need lunch now. I'm making myself something here. I'm sorry. I don't feel up to going to Bambi's. But if you want me, to come over and still get the 50 to order the stuff for you, I will. What does he answer back? Well, we're on our way to Bambi's, then eat. See you later. So he's being a little whiny crybaby ass bitch because he didn't get his fucking way. And I'm tired of him fucking doing that and acting that way towards me because I said no. Because I have a fucking right to say no. Because, I've got other shit going on that is more important to me to get done than driving his ass up to Bambi's, even though he's offering me lunch and offering to put gas in the fucking car because he don't want to drive the truck. Mom wants to go, and she don't like to drive around in the truck because it's like driving around in a fucking rattle box. So because I said no, now he's pissed off at me. And I'm like, fine. So I just went into my Amazon. I deleted all the shit that I was going to order for him. And I was like, don't ask me to order anything for you again. Because if that's the fucking attitude I'm going to get, because I tell you no, because I don't feel up to fucking doing something, then you can fucking find somebody else to order the shit for you, because I'm not going to do it anymore. It's just not worth it for me. Because I don't appreciate your fucking attitude, Jim. You know, I don't appreciate him calling me and texting me when he's going to be gone all day doing shit, because he doesn't have the fucking decency or courtesy to stay there and take care of my mom that's giving him a roof over his head, giving him a life, giving him a fucking family. But he wants to be out, run, all the time. And then he puts the pressure on me to go over and check on my mom, to go over and feed her lunch, to go over and spend time with her, because he won't. Not that I don't want to spend time with my mom, because that is not the case at all. It's his expectations of me that I think are unreasonable, because he asks it too much. Because he won't make the sacrifice of spending more time with her. And his attitude towards it has been, I'm not her babysitter. I'm not going to sit around here and just fucking be with her all damn day and blah, 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 blah. You know, and it's like, okay, well, that's a fine howdy do, considering what she's done for you. And taken you in and you know, made you not be a homeless person on the street that had nothing. Now, to be fair, I can't totally blame him for liking to spend, you know, a lot of time away from mom, because she's 94 years old now. You know, she's getting in that age where she repeats herself a lot. She's setting maybe 1, 2, 3, between, I'd say 3 and 5 feet, if that, away from the TV in the living room. And she uses binoculars to see the TV, because otherwise she can't see it. She repeats herself a lot because she forgets. You know, I mean, heck, I do that. You know, she don't mean to repeat herself, but she forgets that she's said something, and then she says it again, and then, you know, after she does that 2 or 3 times, I mean, yeah, it starts getting on people's nerves. And, you know, I don't want to snap at her any more than I don't think anybody wants to. But it's just the expectations of people sometimes, and it's, in this case, Jim, you know, expecting me to just drop what I'm doing. Hey, I'm going to put gas in your car. Hey, I'm going to, you know, let's drive to Bambi's. Well, I could give 2 shits about Bambi's, okay? It's a little fucking side, you know, off the street produce like little market that you can find those type of markets anywhere. But no, they've got to go to Bambi's. And last I knew, the closest location for Bambi's now is all the way to Pataskala. And I don't feel like driving all the way to Pataskala. And I don't want Jim driving my car, because the man should not be driving anymore, because he is scary behind the wheel. I hate getting in a vehicle with him because he scares me the way he drives. So it's just, you know, like all this stuff just comes crashing down on you, and you're a basket case, and you don't know how the hell to get through it and not be stressed. You know, it's like, what's the out here? You know, what is the silver lining of this cloud that's over my head, looming over my head, threatening to strike me dead, because a bunch of shit's just suddenly being thrown in my lap and I'm just expected to perform? You know, well, don't expect me to do it with grace and be in a happy mood, because I'm not gonna be. My attitude's gonna be more like, okay, what fucking shit am I getting? You know, so I can get that shit done. You know, so I can just get that fucking stress off my mind. And then, you know, hope to hell that somehow it can all come together and we can at least enjoy ourselves on Sunday when we go to the Yulee. Yeah, exactly. Same here. And people wonder why I became a stoner. Because this little thing right here is probably literally one of the very few things that's keeping me from completely losing my fucking shit right now. And I'm pretty goddamn close. And I mean, shit, I still have reservations about even spending the night at my brother's with it just being me. Can you believe that one? You want to know why I'm a little nervous about doing that? Because I just don't trust that he isn't going to expect me to either suck his dick or fuck him, because he ain't getting no pussy, you know. And it's like, no, but he can't get with anybody. Nobody wants to get with him. No woman wants to get with him. He won't get out and try to meet anybody, you know. And I'm a little leery. I'm a little nervous. And I don't really want to, you know, put like Norma through it and ask her to go with me, because, well, I don't have an air mattress right now that I could even give her to use to sleep on, because Carl's only got one extra bed, and it's in the front bedroom of his trailer, because he don't use that room. That's going to become a storeroom when we go get this shit out of the fucking storage unit here in Columbus, and you know, for him, so he's not having to pay $200 every month. You know, I mean, $200 is far worse than $68. You know, I know. I mean, but still, $68 might as well be fucking $200 for me. No, it's more like I'm scared, because I'm a little leery, because I'm pretty sure this, I don't even remember like how far back this was, but there was a time when and this was all the way back when Mom was still living on Santa Maria, and Carl was living above the garage in that little room up there, that little area that Ron, Naomi's deceased husband, you know, was trying to turn it into like an office or something like that. And he put in a couple of sunroof, like, so basically there was like windows in the ceiling, and Naomi would go up there and, you know, strip down completely nude and sunbathe. And she didn't seem to care that, you know, people could be flying over and see her. She didn't care. You know, she's always been that way. She's a little slut bitch hoe if I ever did see one. So, Carl, I was watching a movie with him one time, and it was just me and him up there. And, you know, so the only place for me to sit was on the bed next to him. I sat on one end, and he was kind of propped up at the head of the bed, you know, and we was watching this movie. And I don't even know how the topic got started, because I certainly didn't fucking start it. But he made a comment that this is why I'm a little leery and a little afraid, you know, of what he might do when I spend the night there. And how can I protect myself? How can I keep it from happening, or how can I get over the fear of it happening at all? But he said something along, it was obviously sexual, something along the lines of, well, you know, if any girl's going to get with me, she better be doing it. And, you know, I don't know, but it's like what I felt from him when he said that to me was that, you know, I mean, I'm his sister, you know, as a matter of fact, I'm his baby sister. But I honestly, if I was that kind of person, and I'm not, thank God, Naomi might, I wouldn't put it past her. You know, if I offered to go down on him or something, he'd probably jump on it. Or if I offered to screw him, he'd probably jump on it. And it's like, no, I've never had that kind of relationship with my brother. So, yeah, but I'm doing a live stream, so I really don't want to put that on here. And there was an incident where he offered something to Chris that I'll just say was inappropriate. Chris turned him down, thank God. And Chris offered to show me the text to prove that is what Carl said. I didn't read it because I didn't need to, because I was horrified, okay, that my brother would stoop this low. I'll type it for you, but then as soon as you read it, let me know, and then I'm going to erase it. So, because this is, you know, pretty personal. This one's going to drop your jaw. Because it did mine. Because when Chris told me, oh, girl, if I could have shot daggers from my eyes, my brother would be dead. Because my eyes got real big and I said, he did what? And I was furious. Yeah. So you see, do you understand now why I'm a little leery at this point about spending even one night with my brother? Because how the hell do I know he isn't going to proposition me next? I'm like, no, I don't know. I mean, I'm probably not going to sleep worth a damn that night. I'll purposely keep myself up. I don't care how fucking exhausted. I don't care if I have to take a fucking stack or 3 and stay up all night. You know, even if I have to come up with the excuse, I'm sorry, bro, I tried to be quiet, but, you know, I just could not fall asleep, you know, and I can always maybe use the excuse and hope he'll buy it. There was just too much noise, you know, outside. And I don't blame you. I know it's not your fault or anything. And, you know, I'm sorry. I'll try not to be a zombie or whatever. I'll still try to do whatever I need to do. But, you know, I'm literally going to be afraid to even try to fall asleep because I don't trust that he wouldn't come and try to do something to me in the night when I'm sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Just because of that comment he made and because of what he did to Chris that time. And I was furious. I was absolutely furious, Vicky. I was heartbroken. I was horrified. I was livid. I wanted to fucking kill my brother. And I have to take that secret to my grave. Carl doesn't know that I know that he did that. Imagine living with that little skeleton in the closet your whole life. Because I know what Carl would do. He would deny it. He would deny it outright. And, you know, he would make up some bullshit excuse. Blah, 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 or whatever. So try this one on for size. Yeah. Yeah, it is. And, you know, I just could not believe that he would do that. So, you know, there's been other incidents involving other family members throughout my life. Like, I even had an uncle actually proposition me once in the back seat of a car. I think it was Jim's car, as a matter of fact. And we were all doing some night fishing. And this was back when my grandma and grandpa were still around. They're both gone now. And I hope you understand where I'm coming from. I'm sure you do. But I was just like, I was horrified. I was horrified yet again because that time my own uncle, and I used to think pretty decent of this guy. You know, I thought he was pretty cool. You know, it was my Uncle Rick. And that mother effer in the back seat of Jim's car while everybody else was on the outside doing the night fishing. Because I didn't feel up to it, or it was too chilly, or so I don't even remember. But it was in the summertime. But when you're by the water, depending on where you are and stuff, it can be colder out. It's going to be colder by the water usually, anyway. So I was sitting there, and he was sitting in the back seat with me, and I just couldn't believe it. I was like, "This is not happening. This is not happening. This is not happening." I turned him down flat. I said, "Rick," I said, that goes into the incest department, and I'm sorry, but I don't believe in that. It's not gonna happen. So please just stop. And I told Mom about it. Didn't surprise her. Told Jim about it. Didn't surprise him. I don't know if I ever told Grandpa about it. I don't think that would have mattered much. He wouldn't have said anything to him or threatened him or anything. Why I say that is because my grandfather had sex with one of his own offspring, and she got pregnant with his kid and had the kid. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. This is not the family that, why would I want to be in a family that is like this, that has no problem doing these things? I was just devastated, so is it any wonder I'm a little leery, because I don't trust my brother. I really don't. The reason why I don't have my air mattress that I can offer Maria is because Jim's sleeping on it right now, because I took it over to Mom's so I would have something to sleep on when I would spend the night over there. But that was back when I had a little section of the attic that Jim gave to me, but Mom didn't. So when Mom found out that he gave it to me and that, this and that, she got pissed off about it. She never goes up there. She's never been up there even once. And she got pissed. So I stopped going up there. I just stopped going up there altogether because I got tired of her bitching about it. So I left my mattress up there. I left it inflated. And Jim, he's using that now to sleep on because him and Mom, I guess, both had to get rid of their beds or something because they got bed bugs. And now they're blaming my friend Norma for bringing them into their house this time, because she always sat in a certain corner of their couch and she always carried this one bag with her. And my mom, even went so far, she's like, why does she carry that bag with her? What does she keep in it? And in my mind, I'm like, Mom, that's none of your damn business. I don't know what she keeps in it, and I really don't care. What do you think? She's got a fucking machine gun in there or something? She's just going to blow people away? Do you think she's going to sneak into your bedroom and try to steal your shit? I mean, some of the asinine things that my mom thinks anymore is just ridiculous. And I know it's because she's old, and I know it's because her mind is deteriorating, and I don't mean to be talking so harshly about her, but it's the damn truth, and it gets on my fucking nerves. To the point that, Norma don't even really want to go over there anymore because she knows that Mom don't like her. Mom's racist. She won't outwardly admit that she is, but she is. She's racist. She, because Norma's Puerto Rican. So, and she's a preemie. She was born a preemie, and she had a stroke, suffered a real bad stroke. And, that one side of her face is she's got this line in her cheek that's going to be there forever for the rest of her life. And she can't she can't say certain words right. She struggles with a lot of times trying to explain something that she wants or something, because the stroke doesn't allow her mouth to make the words right, for it to come out right, and she tries. And sometimes I get lucky, or a lot of times I'm lucky enough that I can understand her, what she's saying. But then other times I'm like, you lost me, and I do try. And what's worst is, her own kids, talk about heartbreaking, her own kids, even though none of them would outwardly admit this, they see her as an embarrassment. They're ashamed of her, and they see her as a burden. So much to the point that the only time usually when any of them would come over to see her is when they want something. Not just come over to spend time with her or anything like that. No. And her one son, Michael, she has a Michael too. He's got a sugar mama. And Norma said, when do I get to meet her? And he's like, I'm not ready yet, Mom. I think he don't want Norma to meet her because he's embarrassed because of the way his mom is. And he don't want his sugar mama to meet Norma because equally he's embarrassed and ashamed. And he doesn't want to lose the nice little cushy situation he's got with the sugar mama that, he's basically her sex slave and fucks her all the time, I'm sure. And she's got money. So, that's all he cares about is, she's got money and she probably pays him well for, being her little fucking stud walking around and young and, good looking and all that shit like sugar mamas do. So yeah, if it's not one doggone thing, it's a million. And, this Capricorn just I can only take so much just like anybody. And then I fucking snap. And when I snap, I feel sorry for anybody that's in my way or in my path because I'm going to be relentless and I'm going to hurt a lot of people. And I don't ever want to see that day happen. But I'm equally afraid because there's just been too many occasions, here, some quite recent, that got me to that point that I was about ready to either have a nervous breakdown and end up in the hospital, in which case I would be no good to anybody then, even myself. And then I would be miserable because I would be stuck in there for who knows how long. I don't even want to think about the horrors of what they would put me through. The demands they would make on me of things that I would have to do. And basically I feel like they would try to tell me how to live my life better so that these situations wouldn't happen again. So yeah, it is a lot. It's way too much to deal with, and I just sometimes I can't. That's just my alarm going off. I've been doing this. I don't know if I mentioned it on a live stream recently. I think I did. It's a time conversion thing. Let me get to the right page. Okay, what was the 254? Family. Well, I'm kind of doing that right now. Because you are family, but, I imagine, I don't know how long your lunch is, but you're probably going to have to be going soon. But I'm glad you finally caught up with me because, it seems like it's becoming, more and more difficult for us to catch each other anymore. But, my brother, he is trying to help me, in a lot of different ways. And I do appreciate that. And in that sense, yeah, I'm glad that we got things ironed out. But part of the downside of us talking again is the stress that comes with that of getting on the phone with him. I got shit to do, which he never seems to understand. And he always takes it as, well, the shit that I got to do is more important to talking to him on the phone because a lot of times, yeah, it is, and, he just, and he just won't fucking shut up. He will not. I'll be on there for 2 hours, 3 hours. And then there goes 2 or 3 hours out of my day that my schedule's being disrupted now because he won't shut the hell up. He keeps talking about this and talking about that and talking about, and I'm like, in my head, I'm screaming, please just let me off the goddamn phone. I'm done talking. I'm done listening. I got shit to do because he's lonely. Like I said, he can't get with anybody. He won't get out there and try to meet anybody. But he's trying to help me with the diamond paintings. He's offering to, like, if he could get himself some scrap wood somewhere and play around with some different, like frames and stuff that he could put together and staple the diamond paintings to the frames. And, he's come up with some really good ideas. But the majority of all my diamond painting shit is either down in storage, down in the basement, or it's over at the other fucking storage unit. I can't really get access to any of it other than what might be down in the basement. And even if I did, I still have the same problem. The only area that I would have to work on my diamond paintings would be right here in the front room. I would have to set up the card table, which takes up a lot of space. And I would probably only be able to do that for I don't even know how long out of a day, any given day, because as soon as I get started doing something like that and I'm sitting at a chair up against that table because I'm trying to, use the work surface, utilize it by using it for my diamond paintings to get them done. Here comes Kalika, wanting on my lap, crying, scratching at me, digging her claws into me, trying to jump up on my lap. And then she ends up jumping up on the table. And guess what? I've got a tray of beads sitting there. Now they're all over the goddamn floor. Or Carmela, same thing. She'll come up and she'll demand my attention right then and there. When I'm trying to do something that's important to me, that's when they want my attention. Just like a few minutes ago, Carmela or Kalika came up here. That's why I ended up putting the laptop on my lap because, Kalika came up here and wanted on my lap, and I couldn't do that. So she was up here for a handful of seconds or whatever, and I could tell by the look on her face and what I felt from her, she was pissed off, and I guess I'm not laying on mom's lap right now. So she got back down. Now she's in the dining room. It never ends. It never ends. I've still got some resin pieces to sell. I don't know when that's going to happen. I'm down to, just taking pictures with my phone and trying to figure out how to upload them on YouTube myself. Yeah. I really hope that my fears are unfounded and nothing will happen. But, I know that I'm also justified in having those fears because of what has happened in the past. So, but I also, I have to get over those fears and just really, call on the angels and my spirit family to please just let this go well. Let him not say anything or act in any certain way or make any comments that is even remotely sexual, like he's propositioning me, because I don't need the shit and I don't want it. It's bad enough that he did what he did to Chris. It's not like I would ever do something like that to one of his girlfriends. I mean, all I ever tried to do with any of his girlfriends that he's ever had that were halfway decent was be friends to him, And I mean, I even thought about going so far as putting a fucking butter knife, take one from the house here if I have to, have it in my bag so he doesn't even know it's there, or put it in my purse or something. And then when I close the bedroom door at night, because we're getting ready to go to sleep, put the fucking butter knife in the door jamb or the frame or whatever, so that way if somebody tries to open the door, I'm going to hear it. And there's only one person that would try to open the door for any reason, and that would be him. No. I hope she's okay, but we haven't heard from her in quite some time. I mean, it's probably been at least like several months. Like, I don't even know how far back in my live streams you would have to go to even find the last time she was on one. But it's been quite a while ago. Far as I know, her and Michael are still together, but Michael calls us every once in a while. A lot of times it's to annoy Chris yet again because he wants more game stuff done, or he wants Chris to look up some bullshit that has to do with gaming that Chris really doesn't want to be bothered with because Michael does it too much. And, it's kind of like Jim getting pissy with me because I told him no. When Michael gets told no, then he develops the same attitude. He just gets pissy with everybody and says, well, I'm sorry I bothered you, click, and just fucking hangs up on you, and the hell with everything, you know. So I can only hope she's okay, but I have tried reaching out to her on Signal. I don't know how many times, once in a while, just to say, hey, you know, I hope you're okay. I hope you and the boys are okay. She one of the last things I remember is she was saying something about she had finally found some help for her two boys that are autistic, which is good. So I hope that that's still going on and helping her out. And I just hope that she didn't get like evicted from her place. I hope that she was able to find some way, you know, or some resources or something to help her be able to continue living in her place. She still has some stuff for sale, but she still has to sell it right out of her home. So I don't know how much she still has left. And I certainly can't buy anything. I don't know when or if I would ever be able to buy anything from her anymore because the money just isn't there. And it's never going to be, you know. This is my life, and I'm fucking sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. I just wish I could just fucking go away somewhere for a couple of weeks and find a way to make some money. And yeah, and that's why, you know, that's why I haven't really mentioned her because, you know, I try not to overthink it much because then if I do that, I'm just going to get myself upset and, you know, worked up again. And that just adds to the stress, you know, and I don't want to do that. So, it's a painful topic because, you know, I miss her coming on my live streams and I miss being able to actually have money to buy from her. You know, I don't know when I'm finally going to be able to get my resin stuff together and get any of that sold. Carl's looking into trying to find some flea markets, bless him, that's maybe closer to us, that's safe, that we could get to, that wouldn't take as much gas and as much time. And I would have to load my card table, which is literally the only table I have to use right now, to put whatever it is I'm selling that particular weekend or whatever, and have the money to be able to pay for a weekend at the flea market and hopefully, you know, sell everything that I have because somebody comes in and they're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I'll take everything you got. And then not only am I paying for my rental of the space or whatever, but I'm also walking away with a couple hundred in my pocket. That SSI can't take away from me because I will not put it on a card or anything like that. I will put it in my pocket and just spend it at my leisure, but at the same time, try to not spend too much too soon or like, you know, spend very little and try to not very often. Try to just make it stretch, you know, as long as I reasonably can. And now, see, Carmela's down here at my feet and probably wanting my attention. And I just wish I could go away for a weekend somewhere just by myself. I really do. Because I can't take this shit anymore. It's getting too much. It's piling too high and I'm tired of swimming through it. I'm tired of things being expected from me that I can't do and the struggles, you know, the endless struggles. And I have no place so far that I have found that will even remotely consider giving me a personal loan. So yeah, it's not exactly a fun time for me, you know, right now. But I'm just trying to get through it the best way I can. I even played the lottery the other night. And there goes $8 of precious coin that I really couldn't afford to spend because I was so confident that I was going to actually win this time. Didn't win a damn dime. And there's going to be another drawing tonight. And I'm like, I don't even know how much I have left. If I could even play a ticket. And it's like, what the hell's the point? I'm just still not going to fucking win. Yeah, thanks. And I know, I'm also transitioning from 3D thinking to 5D thinking. There's a AAA Lionsgate portal that's open right now, but it closes down tomorrow night sometime, I guess, or tomorrow sometime, and it's a good way to describe it. It's a vortex of energy that if you can tap into it, it can unlock amazing things for you. And yeah, see, that's the drawbacks with the lottery. On the one hand, you're happy for the ones that do win the big bucks, the big ones that have won, and then at the same time you hate them because you're like, when's it my fucking turn? Why are these motherfuckers winning and I'm not? I need it too. And it's hard not to, be discouraged. And that's why I almost never play, because every time that I've ever played, I've never won a damn dime. And I can't invest. It's hard for me to even invest $5 to try and get, like a pick 3, pick 4, Mega Millions, and like a fucking Powerball or something, because the Mega Millions is $2 a ticket, I guess. The Powerball's $2 a ticket, so there's $4 right there. So then that leaves me, I could either do a pick 3 or a pick 4, and it's. I just need a fucking break, and I just don't know when I'm going to get one. Let alone have the money to be able to go away by myself for a fucking weekend somewhere and just tell everybody to leave me the hell alone. Not you, but you know what I mean? Like, just no calls, no text messages, just leave me alone. Let me have this weekend to myself because I'm fucking done. I am fucking done. Usually at this point, after I've read the questions, I try to do some other, like I try to do the daily goddess and like the daily spell and stuff like that, just for fun, for people that, even if I don't do the spell myself or anything, maybe somebody will, and it'll work for them, So it's just my way of, just trying to help, where I can, when I can, and how I can, as much as I can. Trying to keep the content as positive as I can, but yeah, everybody has bad days, and this just happens to be one of mine. So I'm just trying to look at the positives here at this point. And thanks. I'm glad. That's all I ever hope for when I do those things, is that it's helping somebody else, And usually whatever the goddess is for the day, I will say hail, and then I'll name the goddess's name, and I will light a candle for her and let her know that she is absolutely welcome in my home anytime. And I could definitely use the help right now, and the company and the comfort and the strength and the love, you know. Uh, so now, when I do get off my live stream here, I'm going to have to get a message to Christy, get a message to Stephanie, and a message to Norma that because things have suddenly changed, if we all still want to go, and I certainly do, to the Gift of Light Expo on the 7th and 8th, we're only going to be able to go on the 8th or not go at all, because even though I already had those plans, now those have been dashed because I have to keep out money that I didn't want to have to keep out, that was supposed to be used for that trip, because the Ravenwood trip got taken away from us. And if they're okay with going Sunday, then we'll still go. If not, then I'll be like, okay, fine, let's just scrap it and just, try to go to the one in November, if we can even fucking do that. So because I'm not feeling, I don't think, up to it to do any of those additional things today, because I'm too upset and discouraged. I'm gonna probably just go ahead and end this live, because I imagine your lunch is probably going to be over soon. I don't want to distract you too much, from work and everything, get you in trouble. So, um, I love you, and thanks for the kind words and the support, and I will hopefully, see you on here again sometime. Yeah, thanks. I'll do the same, back to you, sissy. So love ya, blessed be. Thanks for coming and hanging out for a minute, and at least we got to catch up a little bit. And I will. I'll see you next live. Okay, hopefully, or see you sometime soon on here.